Welcome to the WPL Referee Guidelines for 2022. This is Module 3. We've identified 5 referee focus areas for the season. Those are the breakdown, space, scrum, lineout to maul, and foul play. This module is all about our key referee priorities around the lineout and maul. Key priorities are formation of the lineout. We think if we set it up right, then it has a greater likelihood of working out. Contact in the air, sacking, and swimming up the side of the maul. If referees can create structure at the set piece, then it facilitates a fair environment for players to compete for possession. The team on defense must have a player in the defensive hooker position. This player must be at the 2 and 2, which is 2 meters from the line of touch on their side of the lineout and 2 meters from the front of the lineout players within the 5-meter gap on their side of the lineout. A team may elect to have a receiver. The receiver must stand 2 meters from their line of players in the lineout between the 5 and 15-meter lines. Please redirect receivers into the correct position, because being less than 2 meters away or more than 2 meters away from the lineout can be used to gain an unfair advantage on both offense and defense. All other players who are not participating in the lineout need to be 10 meters from the mark of touch. They may not advance until the lineout is over, which we covered in the offside module. Players may not close the gap. In this first example, we're going to see a nice, clean gap. White 1 will change places by sliding directly down the line. Players in the lineout who change places must not run into the gap. This is a great lineout. Here in this next example, the player with the scrum cap in the receiver position enters the line and 3 drops into the receiver position. Remember, the receiver can exchange places with any player in the lineout prior to the throw-in, or the receiver can enter the lineout without another player dropping once the ball has left the hands of the thrower. When contesting the lineout, players may not be thrown across. Here in this first example, the blue jumper is launched across the line of touch, and he creates a problem when he lands on the green maul forming and takes out green 4. The referee correctly plays advantage for this. In addition, there should be no early contact on jumpers or lifters. Here, white engages to push the maul before the jumper has hit the ground. This is dangerous. If you watch straight down the gap, you'll see it happen. In this example, the red jumper pushes down on the shoulder of the white jumper. This is a good penalty by the referee for pulling down in the lineout. Maul formation is tricky because it happens fast. Referees must be mobile, and ARs can help with obstruction by the lifters. Here we see the white lifter move in front of his jumper to block the defense binding. This is correctly penalized as obstruction. In this next example, the ripper does not bind to the jumper, and we see a long arm transfer by white. This is obstruction. It should be a penalty for obstruction because the ball carrier runs back into the mass of teammates in front of her, and the defense is unable to compete fairly. Just a note, you will see this happen to varying degrees. Sometimes it's easy to just have a word at the next line out and remind the ripper to bind when she strips the ball and forms the maul. When contesting the maul, players can travel through the middle of the maul to get to the ball carrier, but they may not slip their binds and move along the side. Here we're going to see white number 1 on the side closest to the camera. She slips her bind once and then twice to get to the ball carrier. That should be a penalty for swimming. In this next example, at the throw-in, the maul is formed, and we'll see the 2 blue players on the far side both slip binds to get to the ball carrier. The referee plays advantage and then blows the penalty. Finally, as the maul is moving forward, the attack needs to keep it in the same lane. If it goes around the corner, the ball has to be at the front. So here the maul's moving forward and it's in the same lane. Here it breaks off and the ball carrier is clearly behind the person, and it should be a call for obstruction. Lineout law is by far the most complicated law in the law book, so make sure you're confident with touch and know the law surrounding quick throw-ins. Remember, this video is only highlights of our focus areas for the season. Be ready for anything at the lineout. Above all, focus on creating structure at the setup. Reset once if you need to, and thereafter use a free kick or escalate as needed to make your point. Thanks for listening to this module on the lineout, and let's all be excited for WPL 2022.